I'm Sabrina, and I thought I knew every corner of my marriage to Ethan, every stolen glance, every whispered promise in the dead of night. But one chilly evening, as the kitchen light cast a warm glow over our suburban life, he pulled me close and murmured something that sent a shiver down my spine. A secret invitation to step into the unknown. Our love has always burned bright, but beneath it, I've felt a restless shadow growing, a hunger I couldn't name. Now, as we drove into the darkness, leaving the familiar behind, I could sense something monumental waiting just beyond the horizon. What did Ethan have planned, and why did his eyes hold a mystery I'd never seen before? Picture this. I'm standing at the edge of a memory so vivid, it's like I'm painting it with every breath I take. My name is Sabrina, and at 33, I've woven a life with threads of love and quiet longing. I've been married to Ethan for a decade now, a man who, at 35, carries a quiet intensity in his dark brown eyes that seem to unravel every thought I've ever hidden. We collided in our early 20s at an art gallery opening, two souls captivated by the chaos of abstract expressionism, lingering over cheap wine and conversations that stretched into the witching hours. He's a graphic designer, a steady anchor in my often turbulent sea, while I'm a freelance writer, forever chasing stories that echo the tangled mess of emotions inside me. Our marriage. It's a fire that hasn't dimmed. Even now, I catch his gaze across the dinner table, a look so charged it could ignite the air between us. Late at night, when the world is asleep, we lose ourselves in each other, limbs entwined in a dance as old as time, a silent promise that we're still us. But beneath that heat, there's a shadow in me, a restlessness I can't pin down. It's been growing over the past year, a void I haven't dared to name, not even in the quiet of my own mind. I think Ethan senses it. Sometimes I'll turn and find him watching me, his brow creased, like he's trying to solve a riddle I haven't even admitted exists. Tonight, though, it's just another evening in our cozy suburban home on the outskirts of Chicago. I'm at the sink, washing dishes after dinner, the clink of plates a rhythmic soundtrack to my thoughts. The dishwasher hums softly in the background, a familiar drone, while the faint scent of roasted chicken still hangs in the air, mingling with the warmth of the kitchen. This space, with its honey-colored cabinets and the soft glow of the overhead light, feels like a sanctuary. It's where I've laughed with Ethan over spilled wine, where we've planned dreams over morning coffee. But tonight, there's a subtle weight in the air, an undercurrent I can't quite grasp. I hear his footsteps behind me, slow and deliberate, the kind of sound that makes my pulse quicken without reason. Ethan's presence has always done that to me. There's a gravity to him, a pull that I've never been able to resist. I feel the heat of him before he even touches me, standing just close enough that the space between us feels electric. My hands pause under the running water, suds slipping through my fingers as my heart skips a beat. It's a moment of pure domesticity, yet there's something else simmering beneath it, a tension that prickles at the back of my neck. I've always felt safe with Ethan, wrapped in the certainty of his love. He's my harbor in any storm, the one who steadies me when my mind feels like it's spiraling. But in this moment, as the tension hums between us, I sense something different, something uncharted. Then I feel his arms slide around my waist, strong and deliberate, pulling me close against him. His breath is warm against my neck, a soft caress that sends a shiver racing down my spine. He leans in, his lips brushing my ear, and whispers in a voice so low it's almost a growl, "I want to show you something new, but you have to trust me. No questions." The words hang in the air, heavy with promise and mystery, and my pulse quickens even more. There's an edge to his tone, a raw intensity that I've only heard in our most unguarded moments, and it stirs something deep within me. I turn in his embrace, the sink forgotten, water still trickling behind me, and look into his face, searching for any hint of what's behind those words. but his expression is a mask, determination etched into the lines of his jaw, and something darker, something unfamiliar flickering in his deep brown eyes. It's not fear I feel, not exactly, but a restless curiosity that outweighs the flicker of apprehension in my chest. I nod silently, my breath catching as I commit to whatever this is. His gaze holds mine for a heartbeat longer, as if sealing an unspoken pact, before he steps back, the warmth of his touch lingering on my skin. We move with a sudden urgency. Ethan grabs his car keys from the counter, the metal jangling sharply in the quiet kitchen, and I slip on a light jacket, my mind already spinning with questions I've promised not to ask. What could he mean by something new? Is it a hidden place he's stumbled upon? A spontaneous escape from our routine? Or something more intimate, more personal? My thoughts tumble over each other as I follow him to the door, the cool evening air hitting my face as we step outside. The sky above is a deep indigo, the last traces of daylight swallowed by the horizon, and the world feels vast and unknowable. We climb into our old sedan, the familiar creak of the driver's side door groaning as Ethan slides in, followed by the softer click of mine. The interior smells faintly of worn leather and the pine air freshener dangling from the rearview mirror, a scent that's as much a part of this car as the scratched dashboard. Ethan reaches over, his hand finding mine, his rough palm a grounding force against the uncertainty swirling in my head. He starts the engine, and the low rumble vibrates through me, a steady hum that seems to echo the pounding of my heart. We pull out of the driveway, leaving the comforting glow of our suburban street behind, and head toward the edge of the city. The urban sprawl fades as we drive, the neon signs and crowded sidewalks giving way to winding roads flanked by dense trees. The headlights carve a narrow path through the darkness, like I'm a canvas being painted with invisible strokes. Следует завершить? By the hands of strangers. The car finally slows, the tires crunching over gravel with a sound that grates against the silence of the night. Ethan cuts the engine, and the sudden stillness feels heavier than the hum of the road ever did. I lean forward, peering out the window, my breath fogging the glass for a moment before I wipe it away. What I see steals the air from my lungs. It's an old villa, a crumbling relic that looks like it's been plucked from the pages of a Gothic tale. Its stone facade is nearly swallowed by thick ivy, creeping over the walls like veins, and the windows are dark, save for a faint, eerie glow flickering from somewhere deep inside. It's as if time itself forgot this place, left it frozen in some forgotten era, and a chill slithers down my spine, prickling my skin with unease. Ethan opens his door, the creak of it loud in the quiet, and I follow suit, stepping out into the cool night air. My boots crunch on the gravel as I trail behind him, my eyes darting to every shadow, every rustle of leaves in the wind. Before we reach the porch, a figure emerges from the darkness, a tall man, dressed in black, his presence as imposing as the villa itself. He steps into the dim light, revealing sharp features and pale skin that seems almost ghostly under the faint moon. He's in his late 40s, I'd guess, with an unsettling stillness about him, like he's part of the house itself. His tailored black suit looks out of place in this wild, untamed setting, and when he speaks, his voice is low, smooth, almost too polished. "I'm Victor," he says, nodding to Ethan in a silent exchange that I can't decipher. Then he gestures for us to follow him inside, his movements precise, almost rehearsed. My stomach twists into knots as we cross the threshold. The heavy wooden door groans shut behind us, the sound echoing like a final verdict. Inside, the villa is a world apart from its decaying exterior. Polished floors gleam under the warm light of ornate chandeliers, and the air feels thick, almost suffocating, with a heat that presses against my skin. The scent of candles and aged wine lingers, rich and heady, as Victor leads us through a corridor and into a large room. My eyes widen at the sight before me. In the center stands a massive bed, draped in dark velvet curtains that seem to drink in the soft, flickering light. It's both beautiful and intimidating, a centerpiece that commands attention, and my breath catches in my throat. Ethan's hand finds my lower back, firm and guiding, as he steers me toward the bed. His voice is gentle but carries an edge of command when he speaks. "Lie down, Sabrina," he says, and though I'm trembling, a mix of fear and something I can't name, I comply. The mattress sinks under my weight, the fabric cool against my skin, and I feel exposed, vulnerable in a way I've never felt before. Ethan kneels beside me and I watch, heart pounding, as he pulls a silk blindfold from his pocket. My pulse races as he leans in, tying it over my eyes, plunging me into complete darkness. The world narrows to sound and touch, every sense heightened. "I'm here with you. You're not alone," he murmurs, his voice a lifeline as he squeezes my hand tightly, anchoring me in the void. Then I hear it. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, approaching from different directions. One set, then two, then three. My breath hitches as a cool, unfamiliar hand brushes my wrist, the touch light but deliberate. Another grazes my stomach, feather soft, sending a jolt through me. A voice, low and unfamiliar, whispers near my ear, "You're beautiful," and the realization hits me like a tidal wave. These aren't random touches. There are others here, many others. My mind reels as I grasp the truth. Ethan has orchestrated something beyond anything I could have imagined. A gathering of strangers, later revealed to be 22 in total, each interacting with me in ways that are intimate, purposeful, while I'm shrouded in darkness. I'm overwhelmed, caught in a whirlwind of sensation and confusion, my mind struggling to keep up with what's happening. The darkness behind the blindfold is a cocoon, amplifying every touch, every sound, until I feel like I'm drowning in it. I'm Sabrina, still tethered to Ethan's hand, his grip a constant reminder that he's here, that he's part of this strange, intoxicating dance. But even with that anchor, I'm adrift in a sea of unfamiliar presences, each of the 22 individuals leaving their mark on me in ways I can't fully process. The first touch lingers, a cool fingertip tracing the inside of my arm, sending a shiver rippling through me. Then another hand, warmer, rougher, brushes against my collarbone. The texture of calloused skin a stark contrast to the silk of the blindfold. I can feel the heat of bodies near me, the air shifting with their movements, and it's overwhelming, like I'm a canvas being painted with invisible strokes. The scents swirl around me, sharp notes of cologne, the smoky sweetness of candle wax, and something earthier, more primal, that I can't name. My own breath comes in short, ragged gasps, the sound loud in my ears, almost drowning out the soft murmurs that float through the darkness. Someone whispers, "Let go," their voice a velvet caress against my ear, and I tremble, unsure if I'm capable of such surrender. Another hand finds my shoulder, the touch firm yet gentle, guiding me deeper into this uncharted territory. The rhythm of their movements varies. Some are slow, deliberate, as if savoring every second, while others are quick, fleeting, like a spark that ignites and vanishes. Each interaction feels like a story, a fragment of someone's essence pressed against my skin, and I'm caught between wanting to pull away and needing to know more. My body reacts on its own, a flush of warmth spreading through me, betraying the turmoil in my mind. I think of Ethan, of the life we've built, the quiet nights and shared laughter, and a pang of guilt stabs at me. Am I betraying him with every shiver, every involuntary response? Yet his hand remains in mine, steady, unyielding, as if he's giving me permission to feel everything, to explore this hidden part of myself. His voice cuts through the haze, calm and measured, pulling me back from the edge of my spiraling thoughts. "Do you like this, Sabrina?" he asks, and I can hear the faintest tremor beneath his control, a hint of something raw. Curiosity, maybe, or a quiet pride in watching me unravel. I don't answer, can't answer, my throat tight with a mix of emotions I can't untangle. The darkness hides my expression, but it can't hide the way my body arches slightly under another stranger's touch. A silent confession I'm not ready to voice. Ethan's grip tightens for a moment, a subtle reassurance, before he speaks again. Should we stop? There's no judgment in his tone, just a question hanging in the air, waiting for me to decide. But I'm lost, adrift in this storm of sensation, and the truth is, I don't want it to stop. Not yet. Not when I'm discovering something so raw, so untamed within myself. A desire I didn't know I harbored, one that both terrifies me and sets me free. The internal battle rages on, guilt and pleasure clashing like thunder and lightning in my chest. My mind screams that this isn't who I am, that I'm crossing a line I can't uncross, but my body tells a different story, responding to every gentle caress, every whispered word, with a hunger I can't suppress. I feel the warmth of skin against mine, the varied textures of hands, some soft as a whisper, others rough like weathered stone, and it's a sensory overload that threatens to shatter God. I'm not sure I can handle. It's like I'm being rewritten, each touch peeling back layers of myself I've kept buried. And through it all, Ethan remains my constant, his presence beside me a lifeline, a silent promise that we're in this together. The echoes of footsteps fade into the distance, each one softer than the last, until there's nothing left but a profound silence that wraps around me like a heavy cloak. I'm still lying on the velvet-draped bed, my heart pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. The air in the room feels different now, emptier, yet charged with the lingering energy of what just transpired. The faint crackle of candle flames is the only sound, apart from my own uneven breaths, which seem to stutter in the stillness. Ethan's hand is still wrapped around mine, his grip firm, a tether to reality in the midst of this surreal aftermath. I feel the subtle shift of his fingers, the gentle tug as he reaches for the silk blindfold that has kept me in darkness for what feels like an eternity. My pulse quickens, anticipation and trepidation swirling together as I sense the fabric loosening. Then, it's gone. Light floods in, soft but piercing after so long without sight, and I blink rapidly, my eyes struggling to adjust to the dim golden glow of the room. The world comes into focus slowly, shapes and shadows sharpening as I squint against the unfamiliar brightness. My gaze instinctively finds Ethan first, his face so close to mine that I can see every detail, the faint stubble along his jaw, the way his dark brown eyes seem to hold a storm of emotions. There's a gentleness in his expression, a tenderness that catches me off guard, but beneath it lies a seriousness, a weight that presses against my chest, making it hard to breathe. His eyes search mine, as if he's looking for answers to questions he hasn't yet asked, and I feel exposed in a way that goes beyond the physical. I glance around, my vision still hazy at the edges, and realize the room is empty now. Victor, the enigmatic figure who ushered us into this strange night, is gone. So are the others, those 22 souls whose presence I felt so acutely, whose touches and whispers are still etched into my skin like invisible ink. It's as if they were never here, as if the entire experience was a fever dream, save for the lingering scent of aged wine and melted wax that clings to the air. The massive bed beneath me feels too vast now, its dark curtains looming like silent witnesses to everything that unfolded. My mind reels, trying to piece together the fragments of sensation and emotion to make sense of the boundary we've just crossed. Ethan's voice breaks the silence, low and steady, grounding me when I feel like I might drift away. "Now you know I'd do anything for your desires," he says, each word deliberate, heavy with meaning. He pauses, his gaze never wavering from mine, and then adds, "Next time, you can choose, even all at once." His words crash over me like a wave, both a promise and a challenge, sinking deep into my core. They confirm what I've only just begun to grasp. This wasn't a singular moment, a fleeting experiment to be tucked away and forgotten. It's an opening, a door cracked ajar to something more, something vast and uncharted that stretches out before us. My breath catches as I process the implication, the idea that this night is only the beginning, that I hold the power to shape what comes next. I'm struck by the depth of his understanding, the way he's seen into the restless corners of my soul, the parts I've hidden even from myself. Ethan has always been my anchor, my safe harbor, but tonight, he's shown me a side of him, of us, that I never imagined. He's willing to push boundaries, to unravel the threads of our life together and weave them into something new, all for the sake of my unspoken yearnings. My chest tightens with a mix of awe and vulnerability, because in this moment, I feel truly seen, stripped bare in a way that's both terrifying and liberating. The warmth of his gaze holds me, a silent conversation passing between us as I grapple with the weight of his words. I don't know what to say, don't know how to voice the storm of thoughts racing through me, but I don't need to. He understands. He always has. My fingers tighten around his. As I sit here, the weight of the night still lingers on my skin, a phantom touch that I can't shake. My fingers are still entwined with Ethan's, the warmth of his hand a quiet reminder of the storm we've just weathered together. I look at him, my heart a tangled knot of emotions, and manage a small, tentative smile. It's not much, just a flicker of something unspoken, but after everything we've shared in this strange, haunting villa, words feel too heavy, too inadequate to carry the depth of what I'm feeling. He returns the gesture, a subtle curve of his lips, and in that silent exchange, there's an understanding that runs deeper than any conversation could. We're still in that vast room, the air thick with the scent of burned-down candles, their flickering stubs casting faint shadows on the walls. The massive bed, once a stage for something so intense and uncharted, now sits as just a piece of furniture, its dark velvet curtains hanging still, no longer whispering secrets in the dim light. The quiet is almost oppressive, a stark contrast to the whirlwind of sounds and sensations that filled this space not long ago. I feel the coolness of the sheets beneath me, a lingering reminder of where I've been, and I realize it's time to leave this place behind, to step back into the world we know, or at least, the world we thought we knew. Ethan shifts beside me, his presence steady as always, and he offers me his hand to help me up. His touch is familiar, grounding, a tether to reality when my mind still feels like it's drifting in a haze. I take it, feeling the strength in his grip as he pulls me to my feet, and for a moment, we just stand there, side by side, taking in the stillness of the room one last time. There's a heaviness in my chest, not of regret, but of something profound, something that's shifted inside me. I don't know how to name it yet, but I feel it. A change, a new layer of myself unfurling. We move together toward the door, hand in hand, the polished floors creaking softly under our weight. The villa feels different now as we retrace our steps through the corridor, the ornate chandeliers above casting long, ghostly shadows that seem to watch us go. The heat that once pressed against my skin has faded, replaced by a creeping chill as we approach the heavy wooden door that first sealed us into this night. Ethan pushes it open, and the cool night air rushes in, sharp and bracing, a stark contrast to the stifling warmth we're leaving behind. It bites at my face, waking me from the dreamlike state I've been in, and I take a deep breath, letting it fill my lungs with the scent of pine and damp earth. Outside, the gravel crunches under our boots, each step a small, deliberate sound in the vast silence of the forest that surrounds us. I glance around, half expecting to see Victor, that enigmatic figure in black, standing in the shadows with his piercing gaze. But there's no sign of him. The villa looms behind us, its ivy-covered facade swallowed by the darkness, the faint glow from its windows now extinguished. It's as if the place has retreated back into its forgotten state, hiding the secrets of what happened within its walls. My skin prickles, not from the cold, but from the weight of memory, the echoes of touches and whispers that still dance at the edge of my consciousness. We reach the car, the familiar shape of our old sedan, a comforting sight in this eerie landscape. Ethan opens the passenger door for me, a small gesture that feels so normal, so grounding after everything, and I slide in, the worn leather creaking under me. He joins me on the driver's side, the engine rumbling to life with a low growl that vibrates through the seat. We pull away from the villa, the gravel giving way to the smoother hum of the road, and I watch through the window as the trees blur past, their dark shapes melting into one another under the pale moonlight. The forest seems endless, a silent guardian of the night we've just lived through, and I can't help but replay every moment in. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this story. This will help us create more engaging stories for you.